The lack of appreciation for teachers is out of this world in the United States. I'm dealing with y'all snot-nosed kids and y'all want to treat me like I ain't nothing? Y'all want to pay me pennies on a dollar? Yes, I made the statement that teachers should be paid as much as doctors. And this is why.
A Corsicana ISD school administrator described in graphic detail the classroom attack that left her severely injured. Hello, I'm Steve Eager. Candra Rogers read a statement to the media, taking no questions, as she described being under attack from the moment she entered the classroom. Fox 4's Sean Rabb in studio with her story. Sean.
Steve, under attack from chairs being hurled, attempting to defend herself and another administrator. She was struck by an object in the face that's taking something precious, both physically and emotionally. Candra Rogers, holding hands with her husband Eugene, followed by family, walks into the Corsicana ISD boardroom, reliving August 15th, the urgent call for help at Collins Intermediate in a classroom for students with behavioral issues. The teacher trying to calm an out-of-control student.
When I arrived, the teacher and students were outside the classroom. One student was holding his head, having been assaulted by the student remaining in the classroom.
What she describes is a violent confrontation, much more than what the district called a classroom disruption.
He picked up a chair and acted as if he would throw it. He finally did throw it at me, but I caught it midair. He picked up another chair to throw at me when another assistant principal entered the room. I used the first chair to block the second. He picked up a third and threw it at the other assistant principal, and I used that initial chair to block the one that he threw at her. After blocking the chair thrown at the other assistant principal, he threw a wooden hanger at me, but I couldn't stop it fast enough. The hanger hit me in my right eye and knocked it out of the socket. I grabbed the blood was pouring out of my head and stumbled out of the classroom door.
Rogers care flighted to Parkland, emergency surgery to try and save her eye.
Doctors were able to reinsert my eye. However, they determined that I've been blinded, and they currently believe that my damage is permanent.
She says it's time for the state to reevaluate the education code and how marginalized students are disciplined.
Overly aggressive students need services to meet their needs, but I do not believe the safety of other students and the educational staff should suffer.
It's not the child's fault per se, but it is the child's fault. It has to be dealt with. You can't just say, well, you know, this person has a mental condition, so we'll let it go.
Attorney George Ashford is not part of this case, but works in both the adult and juvenile system. Ashford says if the boy is charged, it would be a first-degree felony assault. The boy was released to his parents and must stay in a restricted place. But there will have to be a determination made about his conduct that will include psychiatric evaluations.
As severe as his actions were, as they've been described to me, and knowing in fact that he does already have a mental health condition, Sean, I can probably almost say for sure, and his age, you know, him being so young, that's probably going to be inevitable.
The longtime educator says the governor and the legislature are complicit in what happened to her because they failed to fund public schools adequately to meet needs and mandates. The amount of state money per student unchanged since 2019.
I believe in public school education, but what happened to me should never happen to another educator.
Rogers and her husband, who's the Corsicana High School head football coach, have taught in many public school districts. Her injury impacting countless numbers. Doctors have said her blindness is permanent and she may lose her eye. She says she's praying and believing for a miracle that her eyesight will be restored, and those many former students believing with her.
All right, Sean, I have a question quickly, if you don't mind. We didn't hear anything about this. It's like the school locked it down and almost seemed to underplay it. Her injuries are very serious. What was the story behind not saying anything or seeming to play it down?
So the district had no words today after she gave her statement. I can tell you only, Steve, there were HIPAA concerns about her physical injuries, but other than that, the district called it a classroom disruption,
right,
clearly,
which is much more,
with
right?
Another student being assaulted, also much more than a classroom disruption.
All right. Sean Rabb, thank you.
Y'all, if this was in 2024, I would swear that y'all were lying to me. So y'all mean to tell me that a teacher's eye, a principal's, not a teacher, a principal's eye got knocked out by a student. Y'all listen to me. As a former teacher, this is too much. teachers, principals, whoever, we don't get paid enough to deal with y'all bad kids. We don't get paid enough to deal with y'all bad kids. Y'all take care of y'all kids, get them together before they come to school, because we do not get paid enough to do this. But no, all y'all want to fuss with me about how teachers shouldn't get paid as much as doctors. Now, if y'all don't think teachers should get paid as much as doctors after this, I ain't got nothing else to say, y'all. And yes, I know they say that the little boy was mentally challenged. I know that. That still doesn't negate what I said. Okay? Most people in prison right now, most of these black men that are in prison, we always talk about how all these black men are in prison. A lot of those black men in prison, I'm pretty sure, are mentally challenged. I taught kids as a high school teacher when I was teaching in a lower income school district. I had kids in my high school classroom that could not even read and could barely write, and they were not in special education. These were kids that are falling through the cracks. They couldn't read, they couldn't write, and of course they had behavioral issues because they were dealing with the fact that they couldn't read and write, and because of whatever else that they were lacking that the school had not found, had not picked up on. All of these years, they made it to high school, and they expected me as a new high school teacher my first year to teach these kids advanced scientific topics. Like, how do you do that when the child can't even read or write? So I get it. I understand that there are kids in these schools who are falling through the cracks. And honestly, y'all, I don't even know who to blame. Like, of course, I'm blaming the parents for, you got to get your kids' behavior in check. Look, I got 4 kids. I understand how hard it can get, especially when you're dealing with kids who are stubborn, etc., etc. But you can't get to the point where your kid is almost in high school and they're still dealing with these same behavioral issues. And if there is a mental problem, then you as a parent, you have to stand up for your child and get that child the help that he or she needs. Now, when it comes to this school district, I really, really wish that lawmakers would stay out of the business of teachers. I really, really wish, because these lawmakers don't understand. They've never taught a day in their life. What they need is a bunch of teachers to come through and make any law that's dealing with the school system. The teachers and the principals need to make as a matter of fact, leave the principals out of it. The teachers, if you're a principal and you ain't never taught a day in your life in the classroom, you stay out of it too. These teachers need to be the ones in charge of any policy affecting the school system, because politicians do not understand. You will never understand the life of a teacher until you have lived that life. Until you have walked in those shoes, you can't tell me nothing about being a teacher. And so that's the reason that I only taught 3 years, and I'm surprised that I got that far. Because y'all, if y'all knew some of the stories, let me just tell you this. Thank you to all of the parents who actually take part in their kids' life and actually parent, because there is a stark contrast between parents who are actively involved in their children's lives and those who are not. Teachers can see it every day. Like, we can automatically tell. And it is not necessarily that kids who have parents don't necessarily act perfect all the time. They're not always good. They mess up too. But you know the difference, because with those kids whose parents are in their lives, when they act up and the teacher says, "Let me call your mama," oh, they get straight, baby. "Let me call your dad," oh, please don't call my daddy. Like, the ones who are taken care of by their parents. And then the ones who are not taken care of, sorry, y'all. The ones who are not being parented, if they're acting up and you tell them, "Let me call your mama," they'll get their phone out, put it to their ear, and say, let me call her myself. And I'm gonna put her on speakerphone when she get on the phone. I'm gonna tell her myself that you, yeah, that's what they do. They pull their phone out and they say, "I'll call her for you." Yep. They say, I call her for you. This happened to me, y'all, my first year teaching. I'm sitting there thinking I'm doing something. Telling this little girl, she was acting up in class. I told her, I said, I'm calling your parents' phone. Let me go find her number. She got her phone out. She said, oh, you ain't got to worry about that. I'll call her for you. She called her mama. She bought me her phone. I grabbed the phone from her. And I tried to talk to her mama. Her mama turned the radio up and completely ignored me. That's one girl. Another girl, a worse girl, was acting up in my class. She did the same thing. She said, oh, I'll call her for you. She grabbed the phone, called her mama. Her mama got on the phone. She said, Mom, my teacher want to talk to you because she said I'm acting bad. Her mama, listen to me, y'all. Her mama on the phone while she had her mama on speakerphone in front of the class. Her mama cusses me out. What the F you want to talk to me for? You got her right now. What I got to do with her? Don't call my MFing phone again. Y'all cuss me out in front of the classroom. And then y'all wonder why y'all ain't got no good teachers around. Because all the good teachers, look, a good teacher is not going to put up with y'all bad kids. We are not putting up with y'all bad kids. Now, from the moment I started teaching, from day one, baby, I was on my stuff. The students loved me. The teachers thought I was going over and beyond. I was a good teacher. I was one of the teachers that just really went above and beyond. I took my kids on field trips. They really got the whole experience, right? I'm not putting up with that. You're not about to be paying me pennies on the dollar to put up with y'all bad kids. And I will say, again, thank you to the parents who actually parent their children, because I did have those too. I don't want to leave y'all out. I had some really good kids too. Really good parents who really stood up, really came to the parent-teacher conferences, really came to the first day of back-to-school days and all that kind of stuff. Like, there are some very involved parents. But what I've noticed is, in those lower income districts, parents, y'all too young, y'all not involved, y'all trying to be y'all kids' best friend or buddy. I don't know what y'all trying to be with y'all kids. Y'all kids not respecting y'all. They want a mother out of y'all. And what are they doing? Once they get used to you as a teacher, because coming in as a new teacher to a lower income school district, you're going to be tried. The kids going to try you. But once they see that you really care about them, the kids, they gonna cuddle up to you so hard. They gonna call you mama. They gonna say you remind me of my auntie. They gonna call you mama probably more than they call their own mama, because they don't feel like they got a mama at home. But ain't nobody got time for that. Like, there's a breaking point for every teacher. And every teacher, I'm sure a lot of y'all are at y'all's breaking point like I was. But y'all don't know what to do. Y'all don't know how to leave. Y'all don't know what's next. Y'all concerned about, well, am I going to find a place? There's no other place that will allow me to not work during the summer. Baby, please. Baby, please. Own your own business. And nobody worry about them summers. Own your own business. And look, I'm not putting out a video telling teachers to leave their jobs. I'm not. But there is a breaking point for all teachers. And some teachers, they're just ready to leave. They're ready to leave. They've been through enough. They sick of it. They tired of it, and they ready to go. And a lot of it ain't a lot of it is not the students. I understand that, because for me, when I left, it wasn't even the students. It was the administration. It was the people over me. It was like everything else in the middle of that. It was like the paperwork and all that mess. It was so many other things other than the students. Because honestly, I got 4 kids. I can get down with the students. Look. All kids need are direction, instruction. They need a regular schedule. They need rules and regulations. That's what kids need, and they need you to implement all of that. That's what they need now. That's what they need, and they need you to follow through. When you say there's going to be consequences, they need you to follow through. This is not just for students. This is for your own kids. They're all the same. They're all the same. Nothing is different. And so I'm not here trying to tell teachers to quit their job. I'm really not. But there are some teachers out there who know that it's time for them to quit. And baby, that's what I'm here for. Look, I'm working on this already, helping you teachers to find you a job that really appreciates you. Because another problem I had is the lack of appreciation for what teachers actually go through. The lack of appreciation for teachers is out of this world in the United States. I don't know about other countries, but in the United States, it's crazy. I'm like, I'm dealing with y'all snot-nosed kids, and y'all want to treat me like I ain't nothing? Y'all want to pay me pennies on a dollar? Yes, I made the statement that teachers should be paid as much as doctors. And this is why. Teachers should be paid as much as doctors because they go through more things than doctors go through, okay? They do. Now, have you ever seen a doctor get their eye pulled out their socket? And if you have, if you have, I'm gonna need you to tag that in the comments and tell me exactly where you found that at, because I ain't never heard of no such thing ever. Because I'm gonna say you lying, because I don't believe it. But this is the type of stuff that happens with teachers. And I'm not even gonna get started on the fact that teachers, oh my gosh, y'all, we not even about to go here. Yeah, I'm gonna go here. Let me go on and go here. We need armed officers in these school districts. Armed. And if you are a teacher, you're licensed to carry, you know how to use a gun, you need to have your gun on you too. Because as soon as something goes down where a student stands up and tries to shoot the building up, if I was a teacher, I want anybody with a gun to have their gun on them to take this student down. I'm sorry. To debilitate this student some kind of way. Now, I don't want nobody to die, but at least to disarm this student so that he don't go around killing everybody else in the school system who innocent. It needs to be done. I didn't feel safe as a teacher because that wasn't properly taken care of. Like, we want to be protected. We don't go to school to die. We don't go to school to die. And I say, give teachers guns who are licensed to carry, who know how to carry a firearm, who know how to make sure, which is why I know a lot of people are not. I mean, I feel like, this is how I feel. I feel like there should be like this, like a program that you go through for having guns at school, right? And some teachers need to carry those guns, and you ain't gotta let it be known. Them students ain't gotta know nothing. You need to be well versed in handling a gun. You know, like I said, it needs to be very thorough training on it, but it needs to be done because teachers do not go to school to die. So y'all, I know I said a lot. Look, I just don't want this happening to any of my fellow teachers. Once a teacher, always a teacher. You know, it's been a long time since I was in the classroom, but once a teacher, always a teacher. I'll never forget my time there. I'm thankful for everything that I've learned. But again, y'all, take care of y'all kids. Get y'all kids together. Be a parent. Your kids are dying to be parented. Your kids are dying for rules and regulations. I know you think that that's hogwash, as my grandma would say. But your kids are dying for you to give them some kind of structure. That's the only way they can properly flourish. They need structure. They need rules. They need to be told no. They need to be told never. They need to be told not today. They need to be told wait. They need to be told do A, B, or B and C before you do E, F, and G. A, B, and C before you do D, E, and F. Look, they need to be told these things. God gave them parents for a reason. And dads, don't get me started on y'all. Look, we need y'all. We need dads. These boys need their fathers. They do. They need their fathers. And if you have a little boy and his father is not in his life, I would urge you to pray and ask God to give you that father figure that your son needs. And I say pray and ask God because there are so many people preying on little boys. So you don't just want to send him to any and everybody. You want to pray specifically and ask God to lead and guide you to the right person, and ask God to show you if the person that's around them now is not for them. Ask God to protect your kids, okay? We're doing too many things on our own where we're not consulting the Father. We're not consulting the number one Father. We're not consulting the one who really cares for us. We're not consulting the one who knows all. We're sending our kids out and not asking God to protect them. We're sending our kids out and not asking God to make sure they're hanging with the right crew. Make sure they're hanging with the right group of friends. We're letting them make their own decisions. And we're not giving it to God and saying, God, please help me as a parent. God, please help my children to make the right decisions. Lord, please send the right people in my life. Don't have me, look, Lord, don't have me choosing a man that's not the right man for my kids. Look, Lord, don't have me going down road A when road B is much better for my family. We're doing all of these things without consulting the one who created us, the Creator. We are God's creation. He knows everything there is to know about us. So I'm going off on a tangent, y'all, but I'm about to quit for now. But just know, look, teachers, again, need to be paid. Teachers need to be paid as much as doctors. I don't care what y'all say. If you want to hear more stories about the things I've been through, I can tell you. Baby, I can tell you just from my own experience that I should have been paid as much as the doctor. I don't know about nobody else. Maybe other teachers don't think so. But I know for a fact, that principal, baby, she needs to be paid. Because ain't no way. Anyway, so whatever mental issues that child has, I hope he gets the help that he needs finally. But again, y'all take care of y'all kids, because all y'all kids ain't mentally challenged now. Some of y'all kids just straight up bad. And with that being said, bye. I love y'all. Peace.